This isn't just a market cooling down. This is a market that is freezing over. I'm going to show you exactly why the 6.4% price drop everyone is celebrating is actually a massive trap for new buyers. Drop a comment right now. Are you buying or waiting? Pause the video and type buying or waiting below. Okay, let's look at the reality of December 2025. The headlines are screaming about better affordability, but they are burying the lead on asset depreciation. The average selling price in the GTA has officially dropped 6.4%. We are now sitting at $1,039,458. That is a significant haircut from where we were, but the scary number isn't the average price, it's the HPI. The Home Price Index Composite Benchmark has declined 5.8% to $951,700. Why does this matter? Because the HPI strips out the noise. It tells us the value of the typical home is eroding. If you bought last year, you have lost nearly 6% of your equity. For a leveraged asset that wipes out your down payment returns, we are seeing a disconnect that is dangerous. Buyers are hesitating because they smell blood in the water. They see prices dropping and they don't want to catch a falling knife. You need to ask yourself, is this a discount or is this a warning sign? The data suggests the latter. The inventory paradox, fewer sellers, more choice. Now we need to talk about the number that keeps me up at night, 24,549. That is the number of active listings currently sitting on the Toronto Regional Real Estate Board. That is a staggering 16.8% increase in active inventory compared to last year. But here is the paradox, and this is where it gets confusing for the average person. New listings, the number of people actually putting a for sale sign on their lawn this month are actually down 4%. Let that sink in. Fewer people are trying to sell, yet the pile of unsold homes is growing by nearly 17%. How is that mathematically possible? It's possible because we have entered the era of stale inventory. These aren't fresh opportunities. These are homes that buyers have rejected month after month. The accumulation is happening because the exit door is welded shut. I want to ask you a serious question, and I want you to be honest in the comments. Do you think sellers are delusional? Are they holding on to 2024 prices in a 2025 market? Type YES if you think sellers are greedy, or nitrogen monoxide if you think they are just stuck. This inventory paradox tells us that market liquidity is drying up. When you have new listings dropping, it suggests seller fatigue. They are giving up. They are pulling back. But the massive overhang of active listings means that the buyers simply aren't there to clear the deck. We are seeing a glut of condos and detached homes that are just sitting. This backlog is the heavy anchor that will drag pricing down further as we head into 2026. Unless we see a massive surge in absorption, this inventory isn't going anywhere. The volume freeze. Why sales tanked in November? If you thought the inventory numbers were bad, the sales volume numbers are worse. We saw 5,010 sales in November. On the surface, 5,000 sales sounds like a functioning market, but when you zoom out and look at the year-over-year data, sales volume has tanked by 15.8%. This is a massive retraction in transaction activity. You might hate me for saying this, but if you are a seller right now, the market has essentially gone on strike against you. Buyers have completely engaged the emergency brake. Now, the optimists, and there are plenty of them in the comments, usually will tell you, it's December, it's the holidays, nobody buys homes in the winter. That is partially true, but seasonality does not account for a nearly 16% drop. This is behavioral. This is psychological. Buyers are waiting for the absolute bottom. They are looking at that inventory pile we just talked about and saying, why buy today when I can buy cheaper in January? I want to know your stance. Use the comments to express your identity here. Are you a bear or a bull? Comment the word bear if you think this volume drop signals a crash, or bull if you think this is just a holiday pause. The reality is, 5,000 sales in a region of millions is anemic. It creates a liquidity crisis where comparables, the recently sold homes that appraisers use to value your property, become scarce. When sales volume is this low, one or two desperate sales can drag down the value of an entire neighborhood because they become the only data points available. The silver lining: affordability finally breaks. So, is it all doom and gloom? No. There is one metric that is finally breaking in favor of the bear. And it is the one we have been waiting 3 years for: affordability. We have analyzed the correlation between the easing borrowing costs and purchasing power. And the data for December 2025 is shocking. Because of the rate cuts we have seen throughout the year, combined with the price compression we discussed in Section 1, the income required to purchase the average Toronto home has dropped significantly. You now need approximately $65,000 to $70,000 less annual income to qualify for a mortgage than you did just 1 year ago. That is a massive swing. We are talking about the difference between being completely priced out and being able to comfortably service a loan. Think about it. The average price is $1.04 million. A year ago, carrying that mortgage at higher rates was a death sentence for a household budget. Today, with rates lower and prices down 6%, the math is starting to math again. Comment ready down below if this income drop puts you back in the game. I want to see how many of you are actually seeing this affordability on the ground. This is the silver lining. While current owners are losing equity, first-time buyers are seeing the widest open door they have had since 2020. However, just because you can buy doesn't mean you should. Cheap and value are two different things. Just because the payments are lower doesn't protect you from the asset value dropping another 5% next year. Market velocity. The balanced market trap. Let's talk about market velocity, or how fast things are actually moving. We measure this in months of inventory, or more. Right now, the GTA is sitting at 4.9 months of supply. Now, traditionally, textbooks will tell you that anything between 3 and 5 months is a balanced market. So, technically, we are balanced. But I am telling you right now, this does not feel balanced. This feels heavy. This feels bearish. We are 0.1 months away from 5 months of inventory. Once we cross that 5-month threshold, we are statistically in a bear's market. That is the danger zone for sellers. At 4.9 months, buyers have negotiation power they haven't seen in a decade. You can put conditions back in. You can ask for inspections. You can lowball. Sellers are starting to panic because they see this number creeping up. Absorption is slowing down. I have a question for the realtors watching this channel, and I know you're watching. Tell me I'm wrong in the comments. Is your phone ringing? Or is it dead silence? Let us know what the vibe is on the street. If this number ticks up to 5.2 or 5.3 in January, which is very likely given the inventory buildup, the narrative changes overnight from balanced to crisis. 2026 forecast and strategy. Buy now or wait. So, what is the play for 2026? We have to synthesize the data. We have high inventory, 24,000 units. We have improving affordability, $70,000 less income needed. And we have low volume. The forecast for Q1 2026 hinges on one question. Will the spring market absorb the backlog? Scenario A. The rates drop further. Buyers rush in because of the affordability trigger, and we eat through that inventory, stabilizing prices. Scenario B. The economy softens, unemployment ticks up, and that inventory pile turns into distress selling, crashing prices another 10%. If I'm a betting man, I'm looking at the 24,000 active listings and I'm worried. That is a lot of supply to chew through before we see any upward price pressure. Strategic advice. If you are a seller, you have 4% fewer competitors listing new homes, but you are fighting against the stale inventory. You need to price aggressively or you will sit. If you are a bear, you have the leverage. I want to know your strategy. Are you trying to time the absolute bottom? Comment timing IT if you think you can catch the low point. For January 2026, I am watching 4-3 triggers that will flip this market. which I will cover in next week's deep dive. Closing. The December action plan. Let's recap the stakes, because this is critical for your financial future. The HPI is down 5.8%. Sales are down almost 16%. The market is fragile. If you are buying, your checklist for December is simple: aggressive offers, full conditions, and do not fear walking away. The power is yours. If you are selling, you need to understand that holding out might cost you more than selling low. I want to know buying, waiting, or sitting out completely. Comment below right now. And listen, if you want me to track these inventory numbers every single week so you don't make $1 million mistake, click that subscribe button right now. I'll see you in the next one.